Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, iTunes, TuneIn, Tiki Live, Rumble, and more. I am your host, Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and I am here with a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K words, no Kanye talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And so I have topics that focus on solution and guests as well. And today is no exception. We're going to come back and do our gratitude sandwich with my sound engineer, Sam, after the bottom of the hour break, because I do have a special guest with us today, and his name is Martin Muato. I'm going to bring him on now and give him a little applause. And how are you, Martin?
Dr. Marissa, thank you for having me. I am doing great. I'm grateful to be on your show.
Well, I am grateful to have you. And you are the founder and CEO of SoLa, which I understand stands for South LA Impact, a family of social impact real estate funds that are the largest purchaser of real estate in South LA, a professional investor and an entrepreneur for over 20 years. You've been successful at leveraging private capital to drive positive social change. And for that, I am grateful. You get 2 applauses. How's that? Can you tell I'm a very affirming show?
I love it. The world needs more of it, and glad to be part of it.
Well, wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and play a little clip that I put together of our goings on so that you can give me firsthand the history of how this developed. But I want to go to the end so you can see and feel proud of what you've done.
The week of camp, we want to kind of seed interest and provide exposure to a number of different technology fields at the Tech Center. We're doing electrical engineering and robotics. We're doing augmented reality world building. This is in our creative lab right here. And we're also doing robotics and then digital music production as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And how do these kids get to come to this camp?
Well, it's free for anyone in the community. We're place-based, South LA, greater South LA, and really just, it's a first come, first serve. We're very proud to be partnering with the LA Rams and the Watts Rams, their community team, and Project Blue LA and the LAPD for bringing the kids here. And folks can go to solaican.org to learn more.
Fantastic. And SoLa stands for?
South LA.
South LA.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
I'm giving you the Dr. Marissa Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award for your organization.
Well, thank
Always
you.
trying to find places that are part of this.
Nice to meet you guys. Welcome. Welcome. All right. Daniel Rosoff. I am the Director of Impact Partnerships at SoLa Impact, and you are in the SoLa Technology and Entrepreneurship. It's a brand new facility. We opened up in January, and the mission of this center, and I'm joined by Coach Mo, Mr. Mo Galal, our operations manager, who runs the day-to-day here. The mission of this center is to inspire the next generation of Black and Brown technology workers, professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs from South Florida. We want the next CEO of the next TikTok, Snap, to come out of this center. We opened up in January.
Your name?
Roger, R-O-G-E-R. Carter, C-A-R-T-E-R.
Wonderful. And
Junior.
you're a rookie Ram?
Yes.
Yes. Are you excited about the season?
Oh yeah, definitely excited.
Wonderful. And what are you doing here today?
We're out here hanging out with the kids, learning a little more about technology.
And good morning, this is Dr. Marissa reporting live at the Beehive. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and I am here with some really great people. I've got a rookie Ram here, as well as some students who've been playing with him. So if you could introduce yourself and tell me why you're here.
Well, I'm Jeremy McVeigh. I'm a safety, rookie safety for the Rams, and I'm here helping these guys build a robot tank.
Fantastic. And what's your name? What's your name? Julian. And your name? Isaac. And what do you think of this guy helping you out here? Wow, that's awesome. So why are you here at this summer camp?
Because we really wanted to, because we like to do things.
Right, and learn stuff. And why are you here helping?
I'm here to help them build this robot. Growing up, I've always liked Legos and building these kinds of things. So whenever I came in here, it was just my inner kid kind of came out.
Right.
Seeing these guys struggle, me and my little brother used to build and struggle with these, and my dad would help us out. So it's kind of giving back. It's great. It feels great to do.
What do you think of this program here?
It's amazing. It's amazing. I wish I had something like this when I was a kid.
So where did you grow up?
Houston, Sugar Land.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you see this as being helpful?
Yeah,
Around
for sure.
community?
Yes, this is amazing. Just this environment, getting to see these robots and build them, and get to, test yourself, test your mind. It's amazing for these kids to do. So I'm happy that they get to do it.
Wonderful. Well, good luck to you at the Rams. I hope you make it. And now you're a rookie, as in, have you made the cut or
No,
not yet? Okay,
no, not
so
yet.
we're gonna wish you. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, do this.
So thank you guys for being here. Welcome. My name is Mark May. I'm the general manager of PLUS Rams. I'm the executive director of Project PLUS, which is an organization that works with community programs. First of all, thank you guys for being here. I mean, it means a lot to our young people to see you in the flesh. You know what I mean? The Rams is a team that we've grown to love as our own. Being from Watts, but being able to be connected to the Los Angeles Rams, not just the Los Angeles Rams, but the world champion Los Angeles Rams. It's an honor for us and an honor for our kids to be able to have this relationship. You look at popular football.
And good morning, this is Dr. Marissa reporting live. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and I'm here in the Beehive with a rookie Ram and a student who's here part of this technology week. If you could introduce yourself and tell me what your name is.
My name is Dijon Brown.
And?
Logan Bros.
Fantastic. And what were you guys talking about earlier?
We were talking about football.
Yeah? And why are you at this camp?
Because I played for the Watts Rams.
Ah. And what are you doing in this location?
In this location, we were taking robotics class and stuff.
Fantastic. And you are a rookie Ram?
I am, yes.
And where do you hail from?
I hail from Kimberly, Wisconsin, so quite a ways away, yep.
And what do you think of what's going on here?
This stuff here is amazing. It's stuff I wish I had as a kid, and I've always been big into math, science, computer stuff, and so getting these kids doing this early is awesome. I think it's a good opportunity for them.
Fantastic. And how do you feel about being here?
I feel great. It's a great experience for me.
Fantastic. And I understand that you got a picture with this guy who's just a little taller than you and way taller than me.
Great. I saw you in England last night.
Opportunity for the kids to actually come use amazing studio equipment and make music. And they're in the process of putting together a student-led music festival for later in the summer.
Fantastic.
It should be pretty awesome.
Check that out. Hey guys, do this. Ready? Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live at the Beehive in South LA, helping Black and brown kids get ahead with technology. Good luck to both.
So, how does that feel?
Wow. You know, I was there for most of the day. I'm getting tongue-tied, but just seeing the kids interact with not only the technology, but future NFL Hall of Famers and just these professional athletes that are masters of their field, but really coming down into the community and encouraging young people to learn important skills in technology, in robotics, in virtual animation, in game development. You know, it was really gratifying to see, and we're really grateful to the Rams organization for partnering with SoLa Impact in this way. You know, getting young Black and brown kids to be excited about learning and inspire that by bringing professional athletes who may have excelled in things in addition to academics is really special. And, you know, I want to really underscore several times the camera panned to the wall of donors that has helped SoLa Impact make this possible. And organizations like Riot Games in particular, who have really committed their time, money, and energy to help us design the center, to fund the center. And then in addition to that, you saw the Live Nation Jam Studio, which is this unique space for artists, for young people to learn about live performances, but not only how to be musicians or professional rappers, but to manage talent, to put on live performances, to learn about accounting and marketing and project management. I mean, these are the types of things that really the tech center was designed for. Our inspiration was in some degree the YMCA, where 30, 40, 50 years ago, young people had the opportunity to go to a facility and learn about sports and learn about sportsmanship and all the skills to become great citizens. But really the issue I always had was that, look, there was probably a 1 in 1,000 chance that you would make it as a professional athlete, whether that's in the NBA, NFL, or any other major sport, right? But what we did with the SoLa Tech Center was that we wanted to put together this world-class facility in the heart of South Central Los Angeles that would bring young people in the community free of charge to learn about skills that are incredibly relevant to today's economy. And those are skills primarily in technology, around video game development. They get an opportunity to play games. They get an opportunity to really learn about computers, but you saw them interacting with robotics, with 3D printing, and all of these skills. And over the course of the summer, we're going to offer dozens of programs to young people to really get them introduced to these fields. And our goal is that they have a 1 in 2 chance of becoming a professional developer, a professional quality engineer for technology fields, an accountant, a chemist. And we hear this dozens of times. And really that was the goal of the SoLa Tech Center. And you did an incredible job of really showing the vastness of the experience. And we're really grateful for the Rams for really putting their values first and being a value-driven organization, having the rookies on a holiday, right? Celebrating Juneteenth, which happened on Sunday. The relevance of that in the African-American community, coming down and really sharing and paying it forward. So we have a lot to be grateful for, and thank you for helping us get that message out.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure and blessing. And a lot of you know that I do freelance on location, Dr. Marissa reporting live, when I see a story that I want to bring on the show. So I actually work for a New York news agency. I don't even know if you knew this, but I get called to cover news all over the place. And when I see something that is like not, if it bleeds, it leads, or, someone shot or something like that, but like real amazing news that focuses on solution and not the problem. So I don't, show the stabbings and the beatings and the riots necessarily, but I show, the focus is on solution. And you're absolutely right. Juneteenth was the perfect, time to have this. And I just love the kids. And I didn't have to get anybody. I didn't have to ask them, bribe them, nothing to speak to me. And I could have spent, 2 days, and I would have loved to have been able to stay there and start the jam. There's pictures of Prince on the wall for the music, but what a beautiful way to expand and to remove the inequity. And I thought about I was going to do a voiceover of, you don't give the fish, you teach fishing. And this definitely is teaching the fishing and getting them excited, and school's not a drag. And the best part is it's free. So please tell parents and this is really specifically for Black and brown kids, because there has been inequity. And if you watched my show yesterday, explaining what Juneteenth was and how there has not been equity for a long time, and we have a long way to go. But this honestly I'm so excited about your center, because it is true representation of a solution. We need more donors for the place. We need people to come out and be supportive and vocal about it. So how do people support you?
We're, as you mentioned, we're a real estate development firm. We are a builder and owner of real estate, primarily in tough neighborhoods, meaning that we started in South Central, Watts, and Compton. We picked those neighborhoods because we realized there was a massive shortage of affordable housing. We acquired dozens of buildings over the years. And right now we have about 1,500 units that we are building that are all affordable and workforce housing in these areas, meaning that the vast majority of them are income restricted to people that are earning a certain amount. And so our bread and butter, the bedrock of our business, is really in real estate. And over the years, as we both preserved affordable housing, but then realized the need to build affordable housing, as you know, Dr. Marissa, in Los Angeles, homelessness and the lack of affordable housing is something that is choking the economy. It's choking the state. And so we start with this housing first model. But as I looked at that, I said, we have to do more. We have to find solutions that get to, as you point out, income inequality, and more importantly, the inequality of opportunity. And while talent is equally distributed, opportunity is not. And so really addressing that from my experience, having grown up in West Africa, having come to the United States on a scholarship because I was fortunate enough to do well in school, I realized that what we wanted to do is unlock the potential of our young people and find a way to give them a vehicle to really tap into their own latent potential. You know the talent is there. You know that these kids have incredible minds and incredible motivation, but the surroundings that they're in, as you alluded to, with sometimes gangs, with sometimes other things going on, really discourages them from being great at what they could be. And so several years ago, we went down this path of, we started with scholarships. And in fact, last week, with the help of SNAP, we gave away $250,000 worth of scholarships to high school students that are going on to adult education. And so we were able to pull in organizations like that to join us in the journey. But really this tech center that is located at 60th and Central in the heart of South Central Los Angeles is just an oasis in some regards in the desert. right? Where there isn't a physical manifestation. And so we've really put together our resources. 13% of our latest funds profits go towards funding all of the overhead that makes this possible. And therefore, the donors that participate with us, like Riot Games, like Live Nation, like dozens of other private individuals that have contributed, really go towards funding these programs for the kids. And so the second pillar is this access to education. And for us, we're working on the third and fourth pillar. The third pillar being access to jobs and creating an economic environment that creates jobs. And if you saw, that tech center is located at the Beehive, which is a corporate campus that is attracting Black and brown entrepreneurs, and really catalyzing that economic engine in South Central Los Angeles. And the fourth is access to ownership. And for us, that's not only home ownership, which is an important ingredient, but also ownership of businesses, ownership of assets, and training, educating, and encouraging our community to own and to grow through that and really create intergenerational wealth transfer. So I know that's a little long-winded.
No, it's perfect.
It really is how we hold up, the community, and these four legs of the stool are what are critical to really ensuring the community grows and sees the benefits accrue to them.
Beautiful. And for that, give me just shortly the four stools. One's more education, I heard.
Housing first.
Housing first.
Access to education, access to jobs and economic growth, and then access to ownership.
Beautiful. And for that, and what you've done, and I know a portion, I think you said 13%, that's going towards what I understand is the SoLa Impact Foundation, or the ICANN. I wanted to...
yes, the SoLa ICANN Foundation, as well as the Black Impact Community Fund, which works on the last two pillars. But those we fund along with other corporate and individual partners. Yes.
Beautiful. And I love the systemic solution in what you're describing. It's not a one-legged stool, right? Because we have to address multiple places where there's darkness and shine light. All, I love that. So for that and so much more, I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award. And not all of my guests guess that, but don't tell them that. But truly, and I know you have to go. I am so, the last question I always ask my guests is, to who or what are you most grateful for?
Well, right now I'm very grateful to the world, the world leading LA Rams, and for them really making this commitment, and to Molly and the rest of the organization that put this together. I really thank you. And Dr. Marissa, I thank you for the positivity and the focus that you're putting on this community. It is really important to change the narrative so that it is not about just the depressing aspects, while real, the narrative around drugs and crime and homelessness, but to shine the light on the positivity that is coming out from communities like South Central Los Angeles and many more across the country. So I'm very grateful to you for doing that.
谢谢. That's Mandarin for thank you. You're going to remember. All right. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from my living room with my very special guest today, the CEO of SoLa Impact, Martin Muato. You've just heard an amazing solution that you can support. Is there a website, that the ICANN website that they can go to?
solaican.org.
Perfect. I thank you so much for coming in, and best of luck. And I'm sure I'll be covering more events that you put on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And we're going to go on break now. When we come back, we're going to do our breakfast. We'll have a little late breakfast gratitude sandwich with your favorite gratitude engineer, Sam, when we come. Yes, I say Sam and he does applause. But we'll be right back here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. If conforming to the world was exploring the world? What if the question, what do you want to be when you grow up, little girl, turns into how many streets of life you want to explore? What if the purpose of life is not to die with the most toys to leave our squabbling relatives? What if the purpose of life was to do things that we enjoy most of the time? Have relationships that we enjoy most of the time, and use our unique talents, gifts, and abilities to fully express in the dash between birth and death? What if, as a direct result of this horrible pandemic, we could rise out of the ashes with a new PPP, post-pandemic possibilities? The sooner you turn "it's impossible" to "I'm possible," the what ifs become possible too. Because you are loving, lovable, and loved, wrapped in a warm blanket of worthiness. But it may start with getting out of bed and making it. What if starts with
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News radio station, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and my YouTube channel, where you can actually come and chat with me, as well as Facebook. I see the eyeballs. Please do say hello on the comment section. I can post up any questions or comments that you have. And I hope you enjoyed that last segment where I got to interview someone perfect to continue celebrating Juneteenth, the holiday that not everybody knows about, and it is part of my job to shine the light on those things that are helping. Hashtag be the change in areas of darkness like discrimination, prejudice, inequity, and a focus on organizations that are making a difference there. And SoLa Impact is definitely doing that. And you can go to SoLa impactican.org, I believe. And if you missed that first segment, you can go on my YouTube to get shows that you missed, as well as my interviews with, latest is Temptations, Jimmy Kimmel, and then my favorite, Quincy Jones, Halle Berry, and John Travolta. Those are all on my YouTube channel. A free subscribe. Thank you so much. There's been a nice spike I was asking for 250,000 views by my 9-year anniversary, and now we're over 255,000. So thank you so much for complying with my wishes and tuning in to a show definitely that is way more positive than most of the things that are out there. So also, as you heard in the commercial, I have another pair of tickets to Bye Bye Miss American Pie. Yes, Don McLean is in concert in July 2nd, I believe. He is going to be at the Saban Theater. And so the first two people who go to www.drmarissa.life, DRMARISSA.life, will get a pair of tickets for the #Asian Oprah giveaway. Just put down bye-bye, and I'll know that you've listened to the show and qualify for the tickets. Congratulations to Kai yesterday, who won the 2 tickets to see Three Dog Night. I was going to say 3-day, 3 Dog Night. And they are going to be at the Doors of Change fundraiser at the Vista, California Moonlight Theater. And so I get to go there. That's going to be June 30th. If you're a big 3 Dog Night fan, then please do go and support the organization that was on here as well. That is making a difference in homeless youth and helping them. So yes, if you have an organization that is doing something positive, as in #Be the Change, then please do contact me for free commercial airtime here so we can direct people. If you have a product, service, or a book that you'd like to promote for a very affordable fee that goes to my nonprofit, 8 Ways to Happiness, then contact me as well at drmarissa.life, or you can book some time to chat at drmarissa1.youcanbook.me. And while we're on the commercials, this Friday night is my free Get Happy orientation on Zoom. Zoom into more happiness with Dr. Marissa, 7 p.m. Register. It's free, but just so I can get you the information on how to connect. That's a free hour of asking me any question, whether you want to write a book or start a podcast or just get more happy. And that's this Friday. And then Saturday, I get to do my Chinese yoga on the beach. It's going to be a little interesting with 2 broken toes, but I'm getting my cam boot today, so I'll be able to still teach on the beach at 10 a.m. Sam, I believe that you're taking people from the IE on a rodeo, or a caravan. At least that's what you told me before. Hopefully that's still happening. If you're coming from the Inland Empire, contact Sam at KCAA and see if you can all carpool down to the beach with me, because life is too short not to learn a moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time. So we are back, and we're going to have breakfast a little later than we normally do with my favorite breakfast partner, Sam, who works. He's got a show on Sundays. Sam, welcome back to the studio. And we're going to pretend we're right at the top of the show and have some breakfast. The 8 gratitudes that we split between us as we take a bite of my gratitude sandwich so that we make sure the rest of the day starts in the most positive way. So what are you grateful for this morning?
I'm grateful for the hot showers.
And I am grateful for the cold pool that wakes me up when I do laps.
I'm grateful for having a vehicle.
You know, that's so funny, Sam, because I was thinking that would be my opening gratitude yesterday. So you took it for, I'm going to say I'm grateful that I have the option in my car to go topless. Convertible folks, get your mind out of the gutter.
I'm grateful for being this young, being able to experience life.
And I'm grateful that I'm ageless and that I will never retire because I absolutely love what I do 88% of the time. I'm grateful for that.
And I am grateful for having cooking abilities. I made a pretty good dinner last night.
Oh, what did you make?
It's pork loin, but it was a bed of rice with covered in tomatoes and then mushroom on top.
Wow, man, a man that cooks. Are you single?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just gave you a if you contact KCAA and send Dr. Marissa your resume and photo, I will go through them and see if there's something to match Sam with. This is a private service I offer. And you can do the same for me, Sam, since I am also. There you go. We're pimping each other out. No, just kidding. Boy, this breakfast sandwich, the final 8th gratitude. And if you're wondering why I do everything in 8s, it's because 8's a lucky number in Chinese. I know you thought I was Swedish. It's a homophone for good fortune. So my 8th gratitude is that I make, since we're on the theme of cooking, I make a lot of reservations. But I'm bummed. We got to get actually the sound thing with a horn. I used to have that on the show, but somebody said it was like corny. But you know what? I don't care because I love to laugh. Favorite sound on the planet. So now we move to the bottom of the bun in our gratitude sandwich. What are 4 things? Your 4, my 4 equals 8. Things that we appreciate about ourselves. What are things that we appreciate about ourselves? And we do this at night normally, but we're doing it on the show to demonstrate. And it's way better than melatonin. It's way better than going through your phone and seeing all the bad news before you go to bed, or thinking about your day and beating up on yourself for not finishing stuff, or focused on the person that insulted you and how you're going to get revenge. All of those normal activities before you go to sleep will get in the way of your good night's sleep. And no wonder people are having problems sleeping. So you don't really need a good mattress unless they're going to advertise on my show. But what you can do is appreciate who you are. And it's not something we have learned. We don't learn it at school. We don't learn it at our home most of the time, especially if you're one of the 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma like I did. We do not know what's good. We know what's wrong with us. So I am using my platform on this show to encourage you to focus on what's good about you. So I'm going to start. I appreciate that I have the gift of gab, and that I don't follow my Chinese culture to the nail that stands up is hammered down, but I try as much as possible to open my mouth with a message of hope and happiness.
I appreciate that I'm not addicted to my phone. Sometimes it's a bad thing because people like contact me or try to get hold of me, so I'm just on my phone. But I'd rather not be on my phone than be on my phone.
Wonderful. I appreciate that I'm not trying to be perfect anymore. That I know that I'm 88% fabulous, but 12% of the time I goof up, I step in it, and that's okay.
I appreciate that I keep moving forward.
Good. I appreciate that I use creativity in my fashion manifestations. I love to dress up, and it makes me feel good. I don't dress up for anybody but me, but it makes me feel good. Thank you.
I
Beautiful. That is a huge one. That is your, and that I appreciate that my mottos in life are for the past, no regrets, and for the future, don't die wondering.
Hey, I like today's quote. All right. I appreciate that I know that I'm never going to give up. It's just going to take time.
Fantastic. And that was the breakfast with Dr. Marissa and Sam for taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. Thank you for playing along. So Sam is one of my favorite gratitude sandwich partners. If you have not done your gratitudes this morning, please go and write them down or do them with a friend. If you're in the car listening, I know a lot of you are on the way to work. Just make this part of your day, and I promise good things will come the rest of the day. If we start with the gratitudes, the late, great Dr. Wayne Dyer said 5 gratitudes in the morning. And I'm a recovering overachiever, so that's why we do 8. But thank you for playing along. I'm so glad that we started this pretty soon after I started the morning show with live engineers, and I'm grateful that we're doing that. I almost have Paul doing it, Sam, like almost, like he doesn't say no right away. And he's giving me the, he's hesitant. Well, before he was definitely not gonna do it. He's like, no, Sam's the one that can do them. You know, he's a lot more outgoing than I am, and I'm shy. And that, then I've broken him down a little. I think the last time his response was, well, maybe in a month. So I'm working on him. And I just love when people, and this is actually the question of the day, and I forgot to post it. Someone asked me, how do you become positive? So the gentleman said to me that he's always been a worrywart. He's always, been like Eeyore. He's always like, he worried as a child, and now he worries as an adult, and he appreciates my positivity, but he doesn't think that there is hope for him to change to be that positive person. And so this is for you, and I'm not going to say your name and embarrass you, but I'm very grateful that you asked me that question. And I think it's a question that a lot of people have, because people think that you're just born positive or you're born negative, or that glass half full, glass half empty. So what do you think about that? Do you think people are born, positive or negative?
I think people are born with a balance, but the moment life touches them, it kind of determines how they react.
That's a good point. It's kind of like, personality changing. Like if you're born, social or not social, kind of introvert or extrovert. They say that's the same with genetics. You're born with a predisposition, but depending on life experience, it will go one way or the other. So then my follow-up question is, do you think it's possible for someone who's, let's say, born balanced and then has bad experiences, so they're negative, is it possible for them to turn more positive?
Yeah, over time and in the right environment. But if they're in the same spot or in the same atmosphere or even in the same reality they've been in, then they have to change in order to change.
True. But I will counter with a more hopeful experience, because I've watched it happen when I coach people, and when I've, myself had that trauma, and I would, stew in my oh poor me juices and marinate in that. And it was not easy to change, but I do believe with all of my heart that if you are, even if you've had super bad experiences, even if you've had a bunch of bummer things happen, even if you were hurt or you had your heart broken or whatever that was that made you so negative, I believe that positivity is a muscle that you can exercise. It will not happen overnight. It's not like a light switch, but you can discipline yourself into, there's an expression, that psychic change. You can discipline yourself into having the choice, and it's the ch word that I use, not the C word, but a ch. You have the choice, but you really have to exercise that muscle. And I'm going to give you a couple of Happy 88 tools on how to do that. So the first tool is, if you think of every topic, and this is from Abraham Hicks' Law of Attraction, everything in life has two ends to it. Okay. So relationship, let's say the relationship that you have with, let's use something realistic. Your relationship with Paul, right? You're both sound engineers. You split the hosts up, and there's good things that you like about Paul. And then there's some things, although this is probably not a good example because I know you guys love each other, but there are some things about Paul that, you're not thrilled about. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, I mean, there's just some things I wish I could help Paul with.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with his personality or his attitude. It's just, he just needs a little bit of help, a little bit of love.
Okay. So, you have the choice every day to focus on the places that you want him to change, or you have the choice to focus on the things that you appreciate about him. And this is a huge, huge Happy 88 tool that not a lot of people know or exercise or are aware of. We all live in a problem-focused world. We think that if only they would, or if only they could, or if they only would change this, they would be happier. And so we go to work as bosses, as parents, as children, as friends, and we focus on those things that aren't working in trying to make them work. Would you give me that?
Yeah.
Okay. And guess what happens? The time that you focus on those things that are not working, when you focus on something, what happens? It grows bigger. So the 12% of the time, or the 12% of the things that aren't working in someone's life, by focusing on those things, you make them bigger. Maybe not in their life, but in your eyes, it becomes way bigger than it actually is. That's the law of attraction. And the law of attraction works if you believe it or not. And the best example I have of that is when you want to buy a car and you have your idea of what you want, guess what happens? You see that car everywhere, right? On the road. You never noticed them before, but because you're focused on that car now, you see more of it. That little law that is not personal happens with flaws. The same thing happens to yourself. If you focus on something that you want to change in yourself, and that's all you see, the end of the stick that's wrong, guess what? It clouds all of your ability to see anything good. So the tool here is, if you want to be more positive, which is why we have a bite of the gratitude sandwich, is to train your mind to focus and choose to look at those things that are working. And what happens is when you do that, it takes care of the thing that's not working. It's a huge paradigm shift. It's a huge BS belief system that is starting to take hold, but it's going to take some time because we're so problem focused. A lot of our relationships suffer because we choose to focus on those things that are not going right, that are not good about that person, that are not working with that person, and you forget all the good things that that person still has because you're focused on what is wrong. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So I would suggest that you focus on all those great things that Paul has and that I have and that you have, and not use the tool of neglect on those things that you want to change for the better. I just want you to try it for a week. And every time you want to pick up the stick on the topic of Paul or Mark or me or your real estate or your whatever it is, pick it up on the positive end and focus only on the positive end and see what happens to the part on the other end. Because you're not going to focus on it. Just on the end, by the end of the week, I'm going to do the same thing. Because there's some things that I love my daughters and they're way more than 88% fabulous. But I fall into this all the time. I stew about those things about my daughters that drive me to the moon, especially the older one. So I need to practice this better. Same with relationships that aren't working right now. There's some relationships that, worked for a long time and right now they're not working. And so I've caught myself, and I am practicing this. I have been practicing for a week, and I feel myself falling into, how could she do that to me? Or I'm never going to talk to her again, or I'm not going to. And I catch myself and I go, okay, I can't necessarily think about the good things about her right now because I'm still too mad at what happened, but I'm just not going to think about her at all. I'm going to focus on things that it's easy to appreciate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that, my friends, is going to help us all to have the best day ever. This is the end of show number 722. Happy Juneteenth. Thank you for being here. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from her living room on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. Go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace.